Hi, David here, and today I'm going to be working on the Remington 870. This is a 870 12 gauge Riot gun, and kind of curious if you notice the model numbers, 870 TB. Now TB is a receiver used for trap guns, but this was sold to a police agency, so if any of you guys know how on earth Remington supplied trap receivers on a Riot shotgun contract, I'd be interested to know. My guess is that they ran out of receivers and they wanted to fill the contract and they used whatever they had on hand. This thing has been slightly abused. There's a lot of marks on the stock. I haven't decided if I'm going to refinish the stock. I might. But I'm going to touch up some of the bluing marks. This was handled pretty roughly, and there's some bare spots on the receiver. I'm going to touch up the magazine tube. That's pretty worn. The barrel had a rust spot on it that I rubbed down with a copper penny, and then I took some 600 grit wet dry and burnished that out. That spot was right here by the 12 gauge. And you can certainly cold blue a complete piece, but you have to remove all the old blue. And I don't think this gun warrants all that time necessary to re-blue the whole thing. Maybe I'll do it at some point in the future, but right now I'm just going to spot it up with a cold blue. The results depend on how well you prep it. You got to clean it really good with alcohol, then rinse with water, and you put the Superglue on, and you do that a couple of times. I've had good results on an FAL. I did a complete barrel, and the bluing was dark and complete. And then I had a Browning shotgun barrel I did once, and that turned out real blotchy. So it could be the way you prep it. It could also be the type of steel that's being used. So let's get started. Directions are to degrease the gun with alcohol, then rinse with water. Brighten the area with steel wool or abrasive cloth. I already did that part. Clean again, rinse, and then apply the blue, and it sits for 30 seconds, then rinse with water and dry. Then you repeat those steps to darken it. So let's get some alcohol on it. You don't want any oil on it. You don't even want fingerprints on it, because of course we all know that there's oil in your fingerprints. Okay, I'm going to take another rag and do that again, just to make sure I got all the oil off of there. So this step is pretty critical, and if you got oil just dripping on the parts, it's possible that you could have cleaned off a spot of oil, and then oil could have dripped in or onto the area from an excessively oiled receiver. Okay, now I'm going to wet the rag. Wet it down with some water. Got a dry towel. Okay, that looks dry. Got a cotton ball. You can see it darkening already. Okay, onto the barrel. Okay, who remembers what the next step is? Wait 30 seconds. Rinse with water. Need some more paper towels. Rinse with water and wipe dry. Okay, there's the water. Okay, dry towel. So here's what we have. It did darken it. I would say the color match is not quite even, but it does cover the bare spots. Hopefully I'll get a coat of oil on this and might look a little better, but let's do another round. Let's do it again. My plan for this piece is to put on a 2-shot magazine extension tube. Just use it for home defense. Not going to be controlling riots anytime soon. I don't plan to anyway. Okay, let's let it sit for a little bit. Need some more towels again. Okay, got a wet towel. I'll wipe that down. And we'll dry it with a dry towel. And I think I'll do it one more time and then put a coat of oil. Last step is to polish with some fine steel wool, which I don't have. I have a Scotchbrite, so I'm going to try the Scotchbrite. Scotchbrite's kind of fine. So I missed a step. You're supposed to use the steel wool after each process, so I Scotchbrited it, cleaned it. I'm going to put another coat of the Superglue on. Just make sure I could get it as dark as possible. Okay, got the wet towel. Dry it off with a dry towel. Sorry about that, the battery died. After wiping down with the Scotchbrite, now I'm just wiping off any dust that might be on it from the Scotchbrite. Okay, let's put another coat of Superglue on. Okay, wet rag. Get a dry rag. my oil. Well, if you can't find the gun oil, use some car oil. Probably not. Sorry about that, the battery died again. Anyway, I reassembled the shotgun after I oiled everything down, and I'm happy that the bare spots are now blue, but I'm not so crazy about the parts that were blue seem to be a little more worn. But as you can see on the top of the receiver, that's all blue now. Here's a spot right there by my thumb, where that rust spot was, right next to that star. That's nice and blue. So in retrospect, I would recommend in the future, if you're going to try to spot blue a gun, I would just get some Birchwood Casey blue remover or some other brand of blue remover. Just remove all the bluing, clean it really good, and then put down a full coat of a spot blue. You might want to try that, or spot blue, I mean cold bluing. It seems to be where the spots were, that blue came out pretty dark. It's the rest of the barrel. There's the muzzle end where usually there's a lot of wear. So that's it. I hope your projects go well. See you later. There's a close-up of how it looks. You can see it's not perfect. But it'll do. Not a show gun or anything like that.